Okay, so today is Friday, February 16th, 2024, and there must not be any school going on today here in Montgomery, Texas, because kids are everywhere. It's awesome. I love it. Kids are at the park, kids are walking down the street with their parents. They're doing what kids should do. They're playing and they're enjoying their day, not at school, but with their families. And it's just awesome. It's so cool. I just wish that you were here. I wish you were here so you could play with these kids and be with us. Go do something, Of course, yeah. Like I'm seeing them walk right now. I think they're with their parents, their grandparents, and siblings, and maybe some friends. Like, that is what should be happening. So, anyways, apart from that, I did want every day to either share with you what I've been doing. Sometimes it's literally the same thing, which is reading case law, studying it, learning how to write briefs, and lots of legal stuff. I will say this. I stayed up till super early this morning working on a brief, and I was also praying for you guys. And there was something, as I put my head on the pillow, I thought, wow, Lord, like I had to repent because I'm realizing, and this is not in a prideful way, I'm realizing that I could have done this from the very beginning. Like, instead of going through several, there were 7, I believe, different attorneys who didn't have me or your guys' interest at heart, I should have done it myself. And I didn't realize that, number one, it was even a possibility that somebody can represent themselves in a court of law. I just thought it's kind of like medicine. I just assumed, actually that's kind of stupid, because even in medicine, we can do things to help heal our bodies with diet and nutrition and exercise and positive thought life, not that toxic thought life that the enemy likes to make us do or think about. But the positive thought life, which is, I put a huge amount of my own physical healing because my thought life was focused on the Word of God, the Bible, and His promises of what He says we are, all of us. And instead of living from a position, a place of, oh my gosh, I've been defeated, that I learned how, and it was so incredibly hard, but I learned how to thank God in all of my circumstances, and to just try and think of, even if it was just one small detail, of saying, God, thank you. Thank you, I have a vehicle and it runs. Thank you, God, that I'm alive. Thank you, Lord, there must still be a purpose for me here in this earth, or you would have taken me, because you are the author and the finisher. So if we're still here, and I think I even said that in one of my other videos, if we're still here on this planet, it's because we still have a purpose. God isn't done with us yet. And I think the key is a couple keys is to find some sort of way to be joyful and thankful. Even if, and this was so hard, I had so many prophetic people speak over me in the beginning of all of this, and they would just speak joy into me. No, not your aunt, far from that, but I think that she could learn a little bit of this. But what I am saying is, like, if I can find something to be grateful for, that like anchored me in things that were outside of my control, outside of my circumstances. And I think I've even said this on videos before, is we can't control, none of us, even as adults, we can't control what's happening around us in the world and even happening to us to some extent. But we can control how we react and how we respond to it. And when I finally understood that, of like, okay, I feel like I've been given a really horrible deck of cards to play. Instead of me focusing on that deck of cards that are full of horrible cards, I haven't played cards in a while, so I can't remember what you'd call them, but a bunch of jokers or something. Instead of focusing on this isn't fair, God, focusing on what can I be thankful for. Well, I'm thankful and I'm grateful that I have 3 kids. They are alive, that I know of. They are healthy, that I know of. And God's not done with any of us yet. And now that I'm married, I am thankful for my husband. I'm thankful for him holding me up when I feel like there's nothing in me left. But even before that, like, God has been grateful. He has taken me through the storm, and I feel like I'm in a place of breathing. And I do think that there's a time in our life that we go through. It's called a what is it called? A night? No. Hey, Hadid.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it called? The dark night of our soul. I was going to ask him, what is it called? And I went through a dark night of my soul for 2.5 years. Well, maybe even before that, when I was praying for my family and my marriage. But really, the most darkest night of my soul, where I felt like God wasn't even around. I went through that in the 2.5 years where I was fighting for custody. And when it came to the end and I felt like, God, this is not how this story should end, then he reminded me, I'm not done with the story, Beth. You are the one who created the end of your story in your mind. But how about you just thank me, praise me, and be grateful, because I am still going to do what I promised you. And so I'm just grateful and thankful that through this, like, God is strengthening me. And it does not sound right, and it doesn't feel right to our own logical sense, to our mind. But God has strengthened me in ways that I couldn't. And I pray that all 3 of you guys, that as you might feel like you're going through a dark night of your soul where you feel so far from God, and you feel like, what's going on? What's left for me? Try and find something positive, and just, God has a plan for you. I will say that. Like, you don't want, how about this? Everything that I've gone through, I am not going to throw it away so it can be in vain. I'm not going to turn my back on God so it can be in vain. Because if I do that, I will be forever separated from God, forever. Versus if I give it to him and say, God, like, I don't understand this. It doesn't make any sense to me. No logical sense whatsoever. But I'm going to trust that your word is true. The word of the Bible is true, that you are faithful and that you love us and that you do redeem. You reconcile. And there's recompense, and you handle the revenge part. You are our avenger. I don't have to do it. I just, basically what I do is I have this like pile of just stuff that is like, ew, and I just hand it to God. In fact, I used to go through this when I was fighting for my marriage. I would pretend that I was putting it just in my mind and putting it all. I might have actually done it physically by writing on paper. I put it all in a box. And then I just imagined that Jesus was standing in front of me, and I pushed it to Jesus. And I said, here you go. And then I went like this, like I'm not holding it anymore. And I stepped back. And I was like, God, it's in your hands now. And just going through that, like physically going through that, it did something to my heart. It like released something. I don't know why I'm sharing this with you guys right now. I actually want to teach you guys how to make some Paula Deen's taco soup. So we're going to do that right now. I don't know why I got into that with you, but okay. So I have my crock pot. It's this Ninja crock pot. Costco had them. I am going to turn it to high, slow cook. So 6 hours is probably not enough time because people are coming over in a few hours. So I'm actually going to slow cook it at high, which is not really slow cook when you're cooking it on high. So I've already done the taco meat. I'll show it to you. So I've done the taco meat and onions earlier before I went to the store. And then we're gonna slow, so you can kind of see there's still a little bit of pink meat in there. We're gonna drain it though, because we're gonna be cooking a lot of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and drain it. I'm gonna pause this while I drain it. All right, so I drained it. I stuck it, I'll show you what I did. I have a bunch of dishes I need to do, but we're doing a home group tonight, which is basically like a Bible study. So I need to still clean the house, and it is 4:23. Eeks. Okay, so I drained it in this colander right here. So earlier I diced up onion. I diced up 4 cups of white onion, and then 4 pounds of taco meat. Or I'm sorry, 4 pounds of just beef. So now I'm going to put, it's still kind of dripping some grease, but it's fine if there's a little bit in there. It's not going to kill us. It's going to put a little meat on our bones with the fat. Okay, so now I'm going to put it back into the crock pot. Change my camera view around. And this recipe, you guys have actually had this before, is called Paula Deen's taco soup. So now I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. So I'm going to follow the recipe. But you can Google this recipe as well. It's called Paula Deen, and that's Deen. And so I'm going to put 2 packets of ranch seasoning in here. It's like kind of sticking. Oh, you can't even see. There we go. So I'm going to put 2 packets in here. This is such a yummy seasoning. I love it. Okay. I hope everything fits in this crock pot. I did not look it up to see. Just stepping over here to get some scissors because I bought a pack. It was cheaper to buy a pack of the beans. Okay, so now I need 2 packets of taco seasoning in there. And I actually buy a whole thing of taco seasoning from Costco, a big jar. But I still have some of these from traveling, so I'm just going to use it. It's much quicker and faster. And then after this, we will put in some black olives. Not everybody likes black olives, so I'm not going to put a bunch of them in there. But it calls for, and it is an optional thing. I am grateful that Hadid will eat anything. He does like spice, so he likes some heat. It's funny because I was like, well, of course you do. You're from Puerto Rico and you guys have lots of spice. But I heard that they actually don't cook with a lot of spice, which is so interesting to me. When I say spice, I'm talking about like spicy stuff. Okay, so I just stepped away for a second and I drained that olives. So I'm gonna put the olives in there. But yes, I did just confirm with Hadid. I'm like, that is correct, right? You said that you guys don't do a lot of heat, which is just so interesting to me because you would think that Puerto Ricans would like spicy foods. So, but traditionally, they don't. I'm not quite sure why that is. I mean, I guess if you think about it, Mexican food isn't really... Okay, now I'm putting in... I'm doubling this recipe, by the way. And I am putting in this larger... It calls for 2... Oh, I guess I didn't get enough. But that's right. So I'm putting in 7 ounces of green chilies. I'm going to kind of mix it right now. Actually, you know what I might do? Okay, that's good. So I got the green chilies in there. I'm going to mix it in there so it can start doing its thing. I'll show it to you. So right now we've got the beef. We have diced up onions that sauteed in the beef earlier. We've got olives. We've got ranch seasoning. And then we also have taco seasoning. Because this is taco soup, right? So, okay. I'm going to tilt the camera up just a hair. Oh, but then you can't see. There we go. Okay. So now we are... This video is going to end up being longer than I wanted. But that's okay. I hope you guys don't mind. Okay, now we need tomatoes with chili. With chilies. Actually, I'm pretty sure all of these cans that I have in front of me need to go in there. So I might just open them all up. I'm going to put you on pause. Alrighty, so I've opened up the tomato cans. I will still need to open up a few other things. So I'm going to now add a can of diced tomatoes and green chili. Actually, I'm adding 2 of them. And diced tomatoes. And now I'm going to open up the kidney beans and the other stuff. So there's kidney beans, corn, and pinto beans. All right. So now I've opened up some pinto beans and kidney beans, and we're going to add them to the crock pot. There we go. And I drained out the liquid. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to drain it out or not. What do you guys think? I'm going to show you. I drained out some of it into a cup. So if it looks like it's too dry, you know what? I'm going to switch out my can opener. We don't use a lot of cans, although on something like this, it would be nice to have an electric can opener. Ooh, I like this can opener. It's still one of these, but it just like glided. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to show you. There's like a ton of liquid in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it into this glass, or at least most of it, because I'm not sure if... There we go. And changing my view. There we go. I should have had it up there the whole time. So put it up on the counter. Okay. So I still have 2 more cans that I need to open up. So I'm going to pause this. Alrighty. So I've dumped all of the pinto beans, I'll go through the whole list with you. Actually, I can do it right now. I'm opening up the corn that I'll mix into it. So this is going to be a close call, a very close call. As you can see, there's not that much space to the top of this. My wrist hurts really bad. I am going to drain the corn on this though, but I don't know if you guys remember, but I used to make a batch because we had a friend who didn't care for corn. I can't remember who that was. But I used to make a batch that didn't have any corn in it. But I actually really enjoyed the corn. It's a sweet corn. So I did add it. Okay, so as I'm opening up the can, the last can of corn, I'm gonna go through what I have in the taco soup. So I have beef, I have onions, white onions, and then I also have beef, white onions, ranch seasoning, I have taco seasoning, let's see here, what else do I have in there? And then we have pinto beans, sweet corn, so sweet corn, pinto beans. We have just plain diced tomatoes, more pinto beans, diced tomatoes with green chilies, and I did 2 of those. Did some kidney beans and some olives. I haven't had olives in forever. You guys loved olives. I don't know if you still like them, but I remember I used to buy the big olives and then we would snack on them. And they were so good. Such a healthy snack. I loved it. Okay, so I'm looking at this. You can kind of see it too, but it's pretty thick. I am going to add food. Okay. Oh no. Hi. Okay. There we go. I am making a mess. But I don't know if you guys remember, I'm adding the pinto mix, the juice, because I think that I'm supposed to dump it all in there. I'm glad I didn't drain it in the sink. But this is going to be a close call. It's going to, yes, but that's okay. All right. So I just want to make sure the temperature's there, it's right. We got the right spices and seasonings in there. I'm going to wipe my hands off and put the lid on it. And it is set to go. I did set it to sear or saute. Actually, maybe I should. Yes. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I think I'm going to keep it at sear and saute so it gets some like really intense heat in there right now. And then I will turn it down because I think we only have like an hour and a half before everyone starts to show up. So with that being said, oh, I want to show you some new chairs we got. Aren't they cool? They're hammock. I wish that I could show you an example. They're like a hammock chair. Here, I'll sit in it. I don't know if you can see. You can't. But anyways, we got those the other day, and I love them. But I'm gonna say a prayer over you guys, and then I'm gonna let you go on about your day. Just know that I love you. God has a purpose for your life, and although I'm just now beginning. I'm 47 years old, and I'm just now beginning to grasp the complexity, like how big it is. And it has to do with mothers and children. To the details, I don't know. But I can say is that God, He has a plan. And even though I didn't know what that plan was, and I still don't fully understand what it is, I know that in time, when I'm ready, God will show me more. And if he was to give me the whole picture, if he said, hey, this is what you're going to do, I probably would freak out. And I'd probably say, no way, I'm not going to do it. That's not for me. Find someone else. Because it would seem impossible to do it. But because God has taken me through such a process of building my identity in him, not the world, not my husband, not my family, not even as a mother, but he's building my identity in him, that when he opens those doors up to what he wants me to do for him, the purpose, the plan, the mission that he gave to me, when he does that, I will feel prepared. I will have gone through the battlefield of what felt like impossible for anything to be able to do anything, to a point to say, oh, that's it? That's all you got, God? Like, I can handle more. Although I will never be prideful like that, because I've been through the ringer, that I don't want to go through that again at all. But I can say that God knows what he's doing, and he prepares us. And sometimes when I feel like, God, I'm ready for more, he knows me better. And he knows you might be ready for more, but not ready for more of what I need to give you to prepare you for what you're going to do. I don't know if I'm making any sense to you, but I just want you to know I love you guys. I miss you so much. So much. Every day is a new day. And a new day without you. And it sucks. But I know that everything's going to be redeemed. I just know it. I just know that I know that I know. And I can't make sense of it. And I can't use my logic and my mind and my own wisdom to say how to kind of create that imagination in my head, how it's going to be redeemed. I don't know. I can't. Nor does God want me to. Because what he can do is outside of our limitations. So I love you guys both so, so much. And I am so proud of you. Just know that I am so proud of you. Being your mother, being able to pray and intercede for you. Like, even though we're not together yet, I am so proud of both of you. You guys are amazing and incredible. And God has such a huge plan and purpose for you. I love you. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow. I love you and miss you. Bye. Oh, wait, I'm going to give you a hug. There we go. I almost forgot the hug. I forgot to do it yesterday. All right. I love you. Bye.